The South Gauteng High Court has ordered Labour Federation Cosatu to hold its special congress in July. This after 8 of its affiliates and the expelled Metal Workers Union NUMSA took to the court. The matter was resolved in chambers this morning. The Labour Federation now has to hold its congress on July 13th and 14th as promised. An out-of-court settlement, the 9 unions and Cosatu agreed to hold the special congress in July. Cosatu is now bound by the court order. The 9 unions have been demanding a special congress since 2013. Since then, NUMSA has been expelled, as well as Cosatu's General Secretary Zwelinzima Vavi. NUMSA says it will now focus attention on its court action next week when it launches a bid to have the expulsion overturned. The union wants to be part of the July special congress.
The court has given effect to what we have insisted, that the president of Cosatu must convene a special national congress. He could not do it up until he was forced by the court with the order that has been declared. Their lawyers had to give in, because if they were not going to do that, the judge was obviously going to commit Cosatu on this judgment.
For more on the story, I'm now joined by Mangoba Mkhunu. He's our reporter. Good afternoon, Mangoba.
Good afternoon.
Now, the court order granted today. Let's look at these unions that have demanded this. Are they seeing this as a victory?
Yes, certainly they are seeing this as a victory. In fact, they even said it outside of court that it is a victory for them. And you'll recall that leading these 8 unions is NUMSA, which seems to be at the forefront at this stage. And NUMSA basically, as you'll recall, was expelled from Cosatu. So what NUMSA is saying is that this is the first step for them to try and really try and get their way back into Cosatu. So they view this as a victory, saying that now Cosatu has now been compelled or ordered by the court to hold the special Congress, which you'll recall that NUMSA was at the forefront of fighting for it since 2013. So they basically feel this is that they've been vindicated, and that indeed there was a necessity for the special Congress to be called, and so they wanted now the court to order that this be done as Cosatu had promised in July. So, but what we're getting is a sense that Cosatu, on the other hand, is saying that while this action was agreed in chambers, they're basically saying that it will happen as it was promised last year in November. They said that they're going to hold the special Congress in July. So they're basically saying it will happen, but they affirm that NUMSA, as an expelled union, will not be part of this special Congress.
Now, from one court action to another, NUMSA is saying that they're going to focus their attention on a new round of court action. What's the center of this action that they're speaking of now?
Well, NUMSA, we know that they're going to court next week, Monday, to go and challenge the expulsion from Cosatu. What NUMSA is saying is that since the calls for a special Congress were made, NUMSA was at the forefront of that. And at that time, they were still members of Cosatu. So they're saying that they have a right to be at that Congress. They will go to challenge that decision that was taken by Cosatu to expel the union, the Metal Workers Union. So basically what they're saying now is that they're hoping that the court could rule in their favor and overturn that expulsion, which will then mean that then they could be forced to be part of that Congress that is coming up. And really it leaves interesting times, as we are still yet to see whether if that could happen, if NUMSA really could make a comeback to Cosatu.
Mangoba, thank you very much for your time. That was our reporter Mangoba Mkhunu giving us the latest on Cosatu and NUMSA.